Okay. Welcome to Keeping It Real, the largest podcast for real estate agents and by real estate agents. My name is DJ Paris. I am your guide and host through the show. And today is our monthly series called the Monday Market Minute with Carrie McCormick from the Carrie McCormick Real Estate Group here in Chicago with at Properties Christie's International. Now, Carrie is a top 1% producer here in the Chicagoland area with over 20 years of experience helping buyers, sellers, and investors. In fact, the past 12 months, out of 46,000 real estate agents here in the Chicagoland area, Carrie is currently ranked number 13 in production. She is a true superstar and an expert in everything from first-time homebuyers, veteran investors, and luxury properties. She also works with a lot of developers and is often chosen to represent their high-end developments. Please visit Carrie at her website, which is carriemccormickre.com, and also follow her on Instagram at Carrie McCormick Real Estate. Carrie, welcome once again to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy spring.
Happy spring, happy Passover, happy Easter. I'm not sure what other holidays happened this last weekend, but those were the big ones.
How about that?
Yeah, the sun's coming out again finally, although maybe not today. But yeah, let's talk about what's going on with you this month. I know you're pretty busy.
Actually, the market's extremely busy, as everybody knows, but I thought I would take a break from the boring market stats and low inventory and all that, information that we keep hearing over and over again and talk about something fun like social media. A lot of people ask me questions about Instagram and social media and what to do and how to do it. So I thought I would give everyone a little bit of some tips. And I think when we tell our stories on social media, people feel more connected to us. And when people are connected, it leads to conversion. So That's what I want to talk about. So can I dive right in?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I've got, I think, about tips that don't count, but I think it's about 10 tips that I'm going to share with everyone. And the first one is make sure that let's just talk about Instagram, right? So, well, I guess any platform, but Instagram in particular, make sure that your profile is optimized. Think of your profile as your resume. People will decide to connect with you based just, very quick, snap judgment on who you are based on your profile. Make sure your picture is clear, make sure what you do is clear, make sure where you work, what you do, your contact information, it's all clear. People don't want to go hunting around and trying to find your information. So again, tip number one, make sure that your profile is optimized. Number two, use hashtags. A lot of people will do 1 or 2 or 3 hashtags. You have 30 hashtags to use. So make sure that you use hashtags that are relevant to whatever you're posting. It's an easy way to find ideal clients when you create content that matches the hashtag. I've seen some people put hashtag, I don't even know, a good example, like Chicago Bulls, but the post has nothing to do with the Chicago Bulls. So again, just make sure that your hashtags are relevant to whatever you're posting. The next one, which is number 3, is use polls. If anyone knows how to do that in your stories, polls are a great way, and I have to do more of this, a great way to engage people out there by asking them their opinion. Like example, which kitchen do you prefer, this one or this one? Or if you have 2 or 3 or 4 different types of kitchens, outdoor space, whatever it is, it's great for engagement when you use polls, and people find it fun and they find it easy. And the best thing is sometimes people will go back to the poll because if they chose kitchen number 1, the day will go by and they'll want to see how many people agreed with them. So it's kind of self-serving, but they come back to your page to see how well their choice did against other people. Number 4 is use more video. People love to watch videos. And actually the platforms themselves, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, they are rewarding you if you have video posts, and it'll give you more organic reach. So make sure that you do more videos. I know everyone hates doing them. I hate doing them too, but you just have to do it and get them out there.
And you can easily do videos now where if you have a listing or if you're going to see a showing, if you're on the buy side, you can show up ahead of time when the client isn't there, maybe, and do a little walkthrough with your phone turned around. And,
Yeah.
I was just at a Zillow conference, and they were saying that this isn't exactly apples to apples with what you just said, but they were saying that in their listings, because they have more data than any, they understand consumer online behavior better than anybody. They said for homes that are listed that have a virtual tour, a 3D virtual tour, that 63% of home shoppers expect a home virtual tour at a listing, and they won't even look at listings that don't have them. 63% of their
That's
shoppers
a big
blitz
number.
past listings. So yeah, so this just the video craze is it's there.
I just wrote down a note. That's pretty impressive. So yes, I mean, even on that front, I think that's super important. I think I'm on number 5, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm on tip number 5, which is tag the people that you're with. Again, something I need to do a better job with, but when you're with people and you tag them, you're seen by their connections, their friends, their followers.
Yeah.
This helps you not only in your current network, but also through mutual connections. So again, we're trying to reach more people, get more connections, get more followers, get more traction. Definitely tag people that you're with, and also tag where you are. Some people search by location. So if you're in Lincoln Park, if you're in Bucktown, if you're in Winnetka, wherever you are, people want to see, again, where you are. And then they do hashtags based on locations too. So make sure you tag the location that you are. Number 7-ish. When we I always say, tell a story. Every home has a story. Every event in your life has a story. So when you tell a story on social media, people feel more connected to you. And again, connection leads to conversion. So share a story about your clients and how you help them buy or sell a home. Share the story of moving, or share some sort of story about your business. Again, people love storytelling, and it leads to connection. Number 8, use stories. This is a fun one. As you know, it's easy and quick for people to view your stories. Sometimes I struggle a little bit too with, what do you share? Every day, if you think about your day from morning to night, there's something great that you can do a quick snapshot of what's going on. Maybe what's behind the scenes, that you're at a photo shoot, you're attending a final walkthrough, you're attending something's happening. So share something behind the scenes. Again, these stories are quick tidbits of your day, and people love to see that, especially if it's something funny. People always love sense of humor, right? Or dogs. Everyone loves the dogs.
Cats and dogs. Yeah.
Cats and dogs. Yeah. Number 9 is highlight a local business. People love to hear what's happening in the neighborhood, love support of a local business. And keep in mind, if it's a restaurant, a clothing store, your favorite flower place, whatever it is, you tag them in your post, and guess what? They may start sharing that as well. So again, more exposure for you. And my last tip, which I absolutely 100% agree with, and I live and breathe by this one, is be your own brand ambassador. I've said this for years, and this is one of the reasons that I think that my social media took off, because it's all organic to me. It's authentic to me. I try not to copy other people. When I try not to, I mean, there's some words like that, they're just standard words in our market, but you have to be your own brand ambassador. And the more authentic you are, the more engaged people will be with you. And you just have to take action on it, and the results will follow.
Yeah, I think people really want to know especially on social media, they want to know what you stand for. They want to know, and since realtors are their own brand, I was at a branding conference. I was telling Carrie earlier, when I was at the Zillow conference, my sister was speaking at a branding conference a few miles away. I got to go watch her speak, and I got to watch some leaders from different industries talking about marketing and branding trends. And they were saying that right now it's imperative that brands have some sort of larger mission outside of just whatever they're providing to their customers. Is like, what does the company stand for? What do they believe in? What is their commitment to giving back, contributing outside of just, what they make and produce? And so social media is a great opportunity, I think, for your following to see, not only am I, a real estate agent, here's how I service my clients, but, oh, by the way, this is really important to me, whatever those issues might be, or organizations that you support. So I'm a big believer in, be your own brand ambassador, share like everything that you're comfortable sharing about your life that, really tells people who you are.
Right. And I agree with that. I was also at a branding conference, different one, but one thing that they were talking about, the new generation or the younger generation, is being, luxury is less of a status symbol, meaning, people used to wear Gucci belts. I shouldn't say used to. People would wear, Gucci this, or Chanel, or, a ton of stuff. And, whatever it was, that was their status symbol. But luxury is becoming less of a status symbol. And millennials and the Gen Zers influences a change of values towards like sustainability. It's a hard one to say. Well-being, diversity and inclusion, and all of that stuff. So that's kind of this new era, I think, of luxury is going to be just about more of well-being and being authentic. And like you said, it's a whole new change that I think is going to happen, and I love it.
Yeah, I agree. And that really dovetails nicely into a couple of suggestions I have on the marketing side as a quick little tip for our listeners and viewers. Number one, Carrie, you had said this was one of your tips, which was highlight local business. So talking about real estate being hyper local, right? And being that agents typically service a specific geographic area, this is a great opportunity for you to support via social media some of these businesses that you believe in. So I was at a little cafe near where I live. Actually, you'll know it, Foxtrot. They have a bunch of them here in Chicago. They're these little kind of like half kind of fun groceries. And then they have also food that they make. And I was picking up some breakfast tacos that they make, or breakfast burritos rather. And they're really cool. But I think there's a lot of people that don't know they make those. And they're really fun and nice. And so if I were a producing agent, I would have contacted Foxtrot when I was making that order and said, hey, is it okay if I shoot a little, 30-second video when I come to pick up thing, highlighting how much I love your products, and then I'll tag you guys in the post. As Carrie was saying, by tagging other people in the post or other brands, oftentimes their followers will see that. But you can also, of course, tell the people in the shop or the store, oh, by the way, I'm going to put this post out. Just keep your eye out for it. Maybe I can email it to you guys in case you miss it. And then they might want to reshare it, of course, with their followers. But that's just a huge way to get your social media channel exposed, maybe to someone else's followers and other brands' businesses. Shoot a little video about how great, someone's breakfast burritos are. Do it in store. You don't have to make, a big deal about it, but you can do a quick little a reel or a story. Do that, shoot it out, and see what see how many more followers you get. And then I just have one other tip. This is a really specific tip that I just didn't know this, Carrie. I'm curious if you knew this, and you probably do, but I didn't. So I was at the Zillow conference, and they had this one statistic that was really, it just kind of jumped out at me. It's so funny. All they do is just, look at so many different variables for data, and they try to figure out what consumers want. They have determined that if in a listing, in the photos for a listing, if the shots of the bed, rather, I know I'm sort of stumbling over this. If I'm just trying to get really specific, if the shots of the bed, the camera shots of the bed, if they show white sheets, white pillowcases, and a white comforter, and this is, they know that consumers are 23% more likely to schedule a showing versus a printed pattern, like a floral pattern, even like a dark color, even if it's a single color, anything that's not white, they see a decline in the number of appointments that are scheduled. So it's a silly little thing that, I mean, it's almost a 25% more showings. So if I were an agent, I would go out and buy a bunch of comforters of different sizes, all white, maybe some duvets with some white, white sheets, or at least a white duvet with some white pillowcases. And I would just have that, in my garage or wherever I could store that. And whenever I have a listing, I would, again, it's not going to always make sense to do that, but it certainly can make sense a lot of times instead of having the client go out and buy all new stuff. Or I guess you could probably color it with Photoshop or something if you really wanted to in the photos. If it's a different color, I guess you could make it white. But I think it'd be just a good idea to buy a couple duvets and bring them along with you to do at the.
So did they say that was for the primary suite or just all bedrooms?
They didn't. I'm assuming it's primary. I don't know about all bedrooms. They just kind of blitzed through it. So I can find out and get back to talk about it more.
No, I think it's definitely probably the primary, but that's very interesting. And now I'm just thinking back to some of my listings that sold extremely quickly. And guess what? They all have white bedding.
And I wonder too about white walls. I'm going to reach out to my Zillow friends, and I wonder if white walls do a similar thing as well, maybe in the primary. Again, I don't know, but gosh, I mean, that's a really interesting stat that you can just literally bring, especially too, like if you're at a listing presentation and everyone's got the same marketing materials and, you're in competition with 3 other agents and you're all great agents and, all of your stats look great. And, little things like that might just make a bit of a difference. But 23% increase in showings based on white bedding that just blew. I mean, I have all white bedding and all white walls. Just because I'm lazy and that's how it came. And I was like, that's what I want. And apparently that's the way to do it these days. So
share that, find out what they say. I love all the stats, it's so interesting.
So while the white trend is very in vogue, this is a great opportunity to bring some additional value to your listings, and separate you a little bit. So anyway, I think those are some great tips all throughout this episode. So I think this is a good opportunity for us to just keep it short and sweet this time. So everyone who is listening, though, if you have clients that are, want to work with a top Chicago agent, maybe you're in a different state and you have people moving to Chicago. Carrie works with, all sorts of clients, especially referrals from other agents in other areas. Or if you yourself are looking to buy or sell a property here in the Chicagoland area, or just looking for advice about maybe you're in a different area, but you'd like, a top realtor's sort of perspective on your situation, definitely reach out to Carrie. She's a great, amazing resource and is happy to chat with you. Carrie, what's the best way somebody who might want to work with you or speak with you can get in touch?
Yeah, so always call me 312-961-4612. You can email me, Carrie, it's CARRIE at atproperties.com, or connect with me on Instagram. It's Carrie McCormick Real Estate.
Yeah, that's great. Everyone visit her website too, CarrieMcCormickRE.com. Please follow her, as she said, on Instagram at Carrie McCormick Real Estate. And everyone who's listening, of course, thank you for continuing to listen and support our show. Please tell a friend, think of one other realtor that could benefit from hearing this great episode with Carrie about social media, and send them a link to our website, which is keepingitrealpod.com, or just have them pull up a podcast app, search for Keeping It Real, and hit the subscribe button. And also, if everyone could leave us a review of the show in whatever podcast app you might be listening to, whether it's Apple Podcasts, formerly known as iTunes, or Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, or Pandora, wherever. Let us know what you think of the show. Leave us a review. That helps us continue to improve and also gets us in front of more people based on the number of reviews we get. So we appreciate that. As always, Carrie, thank you so much for being on our show for years and years now, providing so much value to our audience. And our audience, again, thank you for sticking all the way to the end. And we will see everybody on the next episode.
Bye, everybody.